what you call things is extremely powerful and shapes how they are received. And so again, coming back to the medical and the scientific language that is used in there, that's loaded. If you're not actually doing it in a scientific way, it can give a false authority to something if you talk about data and experiments and research. You have to be careful about that. If you're not actually truly doing it in that way, it's misleading. Misleading most of all to you. So be careful about the words. I always try and take those words out. So if you're qualitative research, talk about market research. I mean, just try and see things as they are. Take it down so as you can be more objective about it. The language you use will also affect the uptake. So once you looking at a very humanitarian, looking at dealing with people in crisis, you bring in words like science, experiment, randomization. You are alienating people who want to support you. Yet you can look at making sure that what you're doing is for the best and testing what you're doing so is it you know it's the best. But I would just be cautious about the use of language, and in particular for very vulnerable populations. And there is, of course, the associated ethical dimensions of the vulnerability of people and informed consent. Now, I'm very conscious about that from clinical practice and what actually constitutes informed consent. But I can tell you, as a clinician, it's very hard to get informed consent from people who are vulnerable. If somebody needs an operation and now we are required to run through all the lists, and it can cause this, that and the other, and you lose your leg, or you might do this, and you end up and you might die and you'll get this reaction. The patient looks out and says, "What do you advise, doctor?" And it happens all the time. And so people who are vulnerable and in need, it's very hard to get true informed consent, but we have to try.